So let's just talk about clean for a minute. Clean is not a term that's defined or regulated. You'll see that there's a lot that's not regulated. So it is a bit of buyer beware, but it is taken to mean that it's formulated without ingredients that have been linked to health issues, from allergic reactions of the skin to birth defects to hormone disruption to cancer. And yes, those are things that have scientists have found links to some of these ingredients to those that severe of a health issue. It really is the modern version of what was eco-friendly or natural for a time. Neither of those terms are regulated either. So if you see natural on a label, it basically means nothing. That's true in food as well. And we always say at Beautycounter, natural doesn't always mean safe, because lead is natural, arsenic is natural. There are things that are heavy metals are natural, and they are not healthy for putting on your skin or your hair or your nails, or ingesting. So natural doesn't mean a whole lot. Clean as a term is increasingly been tied to sustainability in sourcing and packaging, and also in the way people are cared for in sourcing of the ingredients that are in these products. And it's tied to the environmental health movement as a whole, which began in about 1978 with Love Canal. I was around then, I was in elementary school, and it was, toxic dumping ground in Niagara Falls. And of course it was a mom who said, like, wait, isn't this probably bad for us to have this stuff in our soil and water? And the environmental health movement was born. And when you think about sustainability, it is also not really a term that's defined, except for the UN has defined sustainability development goals. And I'm sure there are people in the collab who are much better versed in what SDGs are, and how they're used by corporations. So I'm not going to get into that too much, because somebody else could do it way better than I could. But if you, like, for example, greenwashing, if you're looking at a brand's story and they talk about sustainability development goals, and they are really specific about, I would say, being carbon neutral by a certain time, but if they don't have a plan to do that, that could be greenwashing. But you start to recognize some of the terms and see if it sounds like they're walking the walk. Sustainability really is when things, so it could be furniture, it could be personal care, it could be food, are made without ingredients and materials that use scarce resources or are toxic to the air, water, soil, really about the planet and our environment, and made with practices that take into account the full lifestyle of the product. So increasingly, we're talking about the circular economy. It really used to be, oh, can this be recycled? Then great, I will use it. And then instead of throwing it in the trash, I will throw it in the recycle bin, and it will be like it never existed. And we know now that recycling is really not the answer. In fact, 91% of plastics have never been recycled, and possibly won't be, probably won't be. So for plastic, that is certainly not the answer. Some materials are much easier to recycle, but we could do a whole call on recycling. So anyway, circular economy is now where it's at. And like I said, sustainability and clean is really about considering the health, safety, and well-being of all workers. So people who are in the mines, mining the mica is one of the ingredients that we talk a lot about at Beautycounter, which can be linked to child labor issues and horrendous working conditions. And so Beautycounter mines their mica very sustainably and not through child labor.